Oh gosh, I just love having people over. So one night Marielle and I did short ribs for everyone, and she stayed with me
Ooh,
all day, and it was a lot of fun to
It was
have her.
unbelievable. Amazing.
Come out wherever you are.
I think my niece Allie was pushed off that ledge. And only one person came into an 8-figure sum as a result of her death. You're going to be my eyes and ears around the Greyborn.
Oh, am I?
Oh, yes, you are.
hey, it's Jim Alexander with Real Talker. I practiced the pointing and like the reverse camera here, so getting my reps in.
It will.
It was perfect.
There you go. Thank you.
Flawless, yeah.
Amy, I almost didn't recognize you for a second. The hair color threw me off, I must say. I'm used to the brunette look.
It's me.
First of all, I gotta say, like, is it me, but I never have interesting apartment building stories? There's literally nothing that ever happens by me, maybe like a dog bark, but do you guys have a dramatic thing? I grew up watching Melrose Place as a kid, even though I probably shouldn't. I have an older sister, but like I've seen it always happen. I just never experienced it. But this film, this is quite the building.
It is quite the building, and it definitely took inspiration from from Rosemary's Baby and Psycho and The Shining, and like anytime you're in what looks like a beautiful, majestic building that actually has like a terrifying underbelly. It's just a great metaphor for basically everything, like the human condition and the American dream and all of that. But we did have a lot of fun creating the atmosphere of the building. And
that's a great thing, Emily, because like I was wondering, like that reminded me kind of that old school. Rosemary's Baby was the first thing I actually thought about, and then here we go into the basements and the boiler rooms and everything. Like we see the underbelly literally of that too. I'm curious, like was this an actual real old building, or is like a super set that was made? I'm curious because it feels very real in the sense that this would be a very old kind of 60s 50s building.
It was a super set. The interiors, the lobby, the apartments, that was all like credit to our production designer and all of our crew and all of our different directors for making that look super deluxe. The exteriors we did film in New York. That's a real building on the Upper West Side that was just really gorgeous and sort of unusual. It looked like sort of the bottom of it sort of looks like a wedding cake, and then it kind of it changes as it goes up, and has this sort of like very dramatic entrance, and which gave us the opportunity obviously for the opening scene to have a lot of impact. And but then the basement we filmed at a location in Vancouver that is a big complex that used to be an insane asylum.
I'm not surprised at this point.
The tunnels are underneath an insane asylum, and like you come down there and you're like, oh yeah, this is the most scared I've ever been in my life. And like it's like we didn't even really need to do anything, or I mean, we all the puddles on the floor and like these light bulbs hanging out of it looked like that already.
Wow.
Marielle had a story of Jeffrey telling her like she was supposed to run down the hallway, and they were supposed to stop at a certain part, but he had the camera lens long, and he was like, just keep going. And she was like, and I just went she was like, everyone on the crew afterwards was like, no one's ever gone down there. We thought you were gonna die.
The sequel is a horror pretty much to this. The second season, like all the crazy like ghosts and spirits in the building, I guess.
Yeah. It was fun, creating not just like the look of it, but also like the sound of it. The sound design really contributes to how that building feels. Just sort of perilous, like the weird creaky elevator and like the slamming doors, and that definitely was inspired very much by Rosemary's Baby, which is like you don't even realize it when you first watch it, but like all throughout that movie someone is playing a piano in another apartment, and you hear it, and it's so distant and it's so eerie, and it's something so mundane, like you wouldn't think that would be scary, but it's terrifying.
Unbelievable. Warren, how do you feel about trusting a babysitter from now on if you ever need one in real life? I mean, it makes you think twice, right?
It throws a little wrinkle into the plans there. Yeah, no, it was so much fun to play this character because it's like, again, first of all, as Emily's saying, to step into this uber rich world, not a world I know. But you know what I mean? Like to be in that and to play around that. I was just like anyone else, like when we get the scripts, to see the twists and the turns and what it is. And like, I know that I'm reading this thing and going through it and excited for people to see it because of the twists, because of what happens, because nobody's who they say they are. Like, I mean, these are the things that we like as a viewer, right? These are the things that get us excited. And then the eerie side of it, you know, making your hair stand up on your arms and all that different stuff. It was a lot of fun to play from the very get-go. So I think we all enjoyed ourselves. We had a lot of fun. And I think now the key is we hope people tune in and they come along.
Well, there you go.
Can I
Amy,
ask
I've
you a quick
been a long time fan of you, but I learned something from Marielle and the rest of the cast I just spoke to. Apparently you're a great cook and make awesome burgers and everything. Like I'm surprised. Here's a big tidbit I learned just now.
Well, you'll have to come over for dinner. No.
Yeah, there's a variety, right? I mean, is there anything?
I know she's going to downplay it, but she is unbelievable. Like, I mean, she had us over all the time. She's the most incredible cook. She's the most gracious host. But I mean, like, anytime she's like, we should get people together, we were all just like, oh, we couldn't wait.
So funny.
Who needs catering, right?
Yeah. She's so the opposite of the character that she plays.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Was there a favorite meal? Because I've heard other, specific dishes. So what was your favorite?
Oh gosh, I just love having people over. So one night Marielle and I did short ribs for everyone, and she stayed with me all day, and it was a lot of fun to have.
It was unbelievable. Amazing.
That adds another element to this cast because it's like, there's always a great story sometimes of a cast really bonds off screen. We see it on screen. They might be fighting, they might be, together or whatnot, but the off screen bond is what makes it all. But this is so cool to hear that you guys really bonded over food, which is the best thing to bond over, and had this relationship. So Emily, now there's got to be a second season. I mean, come on, Amy did the cooking. Like, we can't just end it at 10 here, right?
Listen, Jim. I would love nothing more. We have to just like trust in like the system that like I always build in giant cliffhangers because I'm like, you should definitely do another season. Mm-hmm. And it's my great regret in life is that I've had to leave some people hanging through no fault of my own. It was like, well, sorry, I did a cliffhanger. I thought that would trigger a second season. But I do think like, one of the things we do think about, like in all seriousness in the writer's room, is like, we want to make the season as a whole feel satisfying and complete, but not over, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you want to solve certain mysteries, you want to answer certain questions, but you want to ask new ones. And I think this world is so, there's such a wealth of opportunity, and there's so many characters where you can explore so many stories going forward. So I dearly hope that we get a chance to do that.
And I hope you guys do too and reunite. So I need more of these stories from you on the next one that we talk. So thanks so much for your time and sharing all this. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying the show.
Great. Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Jim. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I'm in a time warp. So, Jim, I guess in my world it is.
Who is that? Who is that cut out?
Oh, that's Mandy Rose. She's a wrestler for WWE, and she signed it for me. Warren, it was in my bedroom. I'm a single guy. It wasn't working well, so I had to move it up here,
So it works really well with the Christmas tree. It's very festive.
Thank you. At least I'm doing something right in my life. So
there you go, buddy. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.